Hi, Laura. Hey, G. Victoria, Julian. Is that Matt up there? See Matt? David. Google Pixel 8 is in the house. Nikki. Chuck Zamzow. I see Joel. Joel and Chuck, thanks for holding it down for us last week, man. Really, really appreciate you guys. Here I am now this week having to hold it down because guess what? Guess what? The crew is sick. Both Natalie and Shane are sick, like really sick. Oh, look. Hi, Vicky. Wave. Say hi. How's it going? Got Evan, the real Serenity Amor. It's kind of funny too, you know, on like a day when everybody's sick. The guest is running a little bit late, so you know, I'm just gonna awkwardly sit here and talk to you guys. You know, like I had a really good week last week. Started off in Arizona. We all went to a conference out there. It's called TCIV. It's Treatment Centers, Owners and Investors. And they asked Catherine and I to speak. And I feel like we really crushed it. Because, you know, I don't really like investors in the treatment center business. So kind of takes the, you know, the full purpose out of being in this business. And then we get in this business to help people that suffer. Oh, is Shane actually on? Can we unmute him? Is he too scared?
Oh, I don't know if it's safe to unmute me, bro. I don't know if it's safe.
Yeah, what's going on?
What do you mean, what is time? You know where I am?
Are you sitting on the toilet right now?
You
or
damn
what?
right I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
One of those days, huh? You see Jesse up there in the.
Hey, how you doing? I put my video on.
Look at what's going on? You literally sitting in the bathroom right now, huh?
I'm sitting on the toilet as we speak.
All right. Well,
yeah, I'm not shy.
Yeah, you're not shy. That's for sure. We all know that. This is your friendly reminder that Shane is from Canada.
Yeah.
And you know, we can't control what comes out of his mouth, and we do
Or
have
my butt.
Again, I apologize in advance for his Canadian humor. I'm like literally reading Chuck Zamzow. He's like, Shane, you are nuts. He is. He's a good time.
I'm telling you, it's been a rough couple days. I'm not gonna lie.
He's a really good time though, man. It's fun going on little you know, adventures, 2-3 day little trips with the crew, because Shane always keeps us rolling and keeps it interesting. Gets us in a little trouble, gets himself in a little trouble every time.
So, wow, and then I think I got poor Natalie sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Emily's about to be out too. This is probably her last couple of hours or her last
hour. Oh my goodness.
Because she has got the chills as well.
Jeez.
So, you know, that's how we roll.
That's how we roll, deep.
Super excited though. We got a guest in the house. You're gonna be right there, bro. She's welcome to come in as well. Okay, cool. You need to use it at all? You good?
Do we have time?
Yeah. I'll just keep talking.
Sure.
Yeah, if you need to, go ahead.
Let's go quick. All right.
So yeah, we got a cool guest. What's your name again?
Raul.
Raul's in the house tonight. So, Shane, what you doing? All right, Shane, we muted you, so that's good. I'm gonna let's see who else wants to talk right now. How about let's pick on Vicky, no, she doesn't like public speaking. Matt, I haven't heard from Matt in a little while. Let's unmute Matt for a bit while we wait. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. What's going on, family? How you guys doing?
We're doing fantastic.
Sad to see everybody sick, man. That's not nice of Shane to pass that off on to everybody, man. He should have kept that to himself.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's been
Hey,
really hitting my office though, man. And last week we've had numerous people out with this whatever it is going on around here.
That's not good, man. I know there's like some new upgraded version of COVID going around, and everybody's getting walking pneumonia too. So got to stay safe, man. Got to stay safe. Hey, I shot Shane a message last week when you guys were getting on the plane, man. I did a podcast on my friend's podcast on YouTube, man. You know who Jamie Toledo is? Jamie Tall?
No.
She's got a bunch of YouTube and Facebook creators, man. I'll shoot you the link.
Okay, yeah, shoot us the link. Put the link right here so everybody can watch it. I'm sure everybody
all right.
to. Yeah, you can.
Give me a second.
And then just jump in.
Let me see if I can go in. Let me see if I can go in and send it.
Just pull that mic towards you. Pull the mic.
Yeah, you'll want to get pretty close like this, and then your camera is right there, and you'll just talk to me, and they'll kind of like don't look over there because then you're looking away. Thank goodness my camera's over there because it
was real good, man. It's the second time I've done my testimony on a podcast, but this time went a lot more smooth, man. A lot more smooth. I was definitely able to give a lot more description on my story, and it was good stuff, man. And Jamie's doing amazing things in the recovery community for sure.
That's awesome. We got our next Recover Out Loud meeting. I know a lot of you guys are from other states, but our next Recover Out Loud meeting is going to be amazing. We have a live in person. It'll be January 10th. It's a Friday night. We got Abby Fickley coming in. I don't know if you guys know her or follow her, but she's a pretty awesome YouTuber with some really good recovery. This week was amazing. We had Bam here. He's about as wild as Shane, maybe even a little bit more. Their energy matched each other perfectly. That podcast I think will drop Thursday. So you guys need to check that out. And Matt, we'll definitely check this out. But let's get this party started, huh? Emily? Emily doesn't have a microphone. I wish she did. But guys, again, thank you for showing up to the Tuesday night Recover Out Loud meeting and showing up every week. We really appreciate you guys coming. Just a quick reminder about the Hopeaholics. The Hopeaholics podcast was started because I lost my son-in-law on 9/11 of 2022 to the fentanyl crisis. And it still is, guys. I know the numbers seem to be going down a little bit, and hopefully they will start to trend that way. But 300 people are still dying every single day from fentanyl poisoning is what we like to call it around here. And that's when we all join this Recover Out Loud movement because, man, we just can't be anonymous anymore. We have to show people that recovery is possible, number one. And that, you know what? Sometimes life is hard, and it's okay if we stumble and fall in front of each other because that's the only way we can help each other up. And if we don't recover out loud, people die in silence because they don't know that there's other people. I know how it was for me. I didn't think that there was anybody else out there that felt the same way or had gone through the same stuff that I had gone through. And the truth of the matter is we all have gone through it, and we can all get to the other side together. So we got an awesome guest tonight. I don't really know him, but every time Fausto brings us a guest, it always is inspiring to me. So we got Raul. Raul, you got about 20 minutes. Joel will put a clock up there. on the screen.
Oh, perfect.
You'll also hear it go off at 20 minutes. And man, the floor is yours. You could talk about whatever. If it's 12 steps, not 12 steps, God, whatever. We don't care around here. Your recovery is your recovery, and you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. So you're up, Raul.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for having me. I'm sorry we're late.
No problem.
We got optimistic about the traffic, and then that ended up not working out. But so my name is Raul, and I'm a recovered alcoholic. What has gotten me to recover is the 12 steps in AA. So I have a sobriety date of September 4th, 2020, and it's not my first one, but it is the one where I finally surrendered, where I was able to admit to myself, for starters, that I had a problem. I mean, like everybody else, it started out fun. I'm from a big family. I'm the youngest of 9 kids, and there's a lot of heavy drinkers in there, big family parties, very religious, so a lot of baptisms, weddings to go to, quinces, like you name it, there's food and alcohol all the time, so that's just what you do. Looking back now, I know one of the big red flags for me was when I started to hide it. I realized that not everybody was drinking the same way. They weren't trying to sneak off to the bathroom to take shots. They weren't trying to sneak some in the car to take it home with you. But it says in the big book that after a certain time, you can't differentiate the true from the false. So I'm assuming everybody's doing this. I just can't see them. I figure like, oh, you guys must be able to hide it more than I can. And that's just how it went for years. It was a lot of fun. And I don't know exactly when, but after a certain point, it did become my solution to everything. I started to take it to work with me. I started to have it first thing in the morning. I started shaking in the morning without it. And I'm still thinking this is okay. It's not that bad. It wasn't until I had my first withdrawal seizure that then I had the thought, okay, maybe I went a little bit too hard this weekend. So I went to a detox thinking it'll be like an oil change, just kind of flush my system out and I can go again. And that's exactly what I did. I drank the day I got out and the seizures just got shorter and shorter. So I got desperate to try and figure out how to slow down. I didn't want to stop, but I just wanted to manage it because I kept having that idea, like if I can just hit that plateau, I'll be cool. And then I just rocket past it every time, thinking like, oh, and tomorrow I'll do it again. So I got desperate. I got just depressed. I couldn't function without alcohol, and I couldn't function with it. I stopped showing up to work. I stopped showing up to everything. I got fired, of course. Just relationships falling apart. I'm becoming super isolated. And for me, I'm drinking the entire time. And my goal, once I start drinking, is, like it talks about in the book, is oblivion. I black out every time. I don't want to be here. I don't want to wake up the next day. I'm okay with it just being done. But apparently, for me, once I black out, that's when I get in the car and want to go socialize with people. So I've come to a lot of times on the freeway in a bunch of situations I have no business being, people I have no business being around. But one of them ended up being a God shot. That got me introduced to the program because I came to mid-conversation with a coffee shop worker. I guess I had ordered a coffee and then passed out on one of their tables. And so I come to when one of the workers is talking to me like, look, I don't mean to tell you your business, but you seem to be in a really rough spot. And if you want to continue like this, that's your business, that's fine. But if you don't, there's options out there. And I was just down enough that I said, what do you got? And she sent me to Howe Hall down in Huntington Beach and to go to a meeting. And I didn't know at the time that AA was a real thing. It had never been talked about in my family and nothing like that. I thought it was just in movies. And it looks boring as shit in movies.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll go. So I showed up drunk. I showed up and stumbled into there. I don't remember much of what they said. I do remember they asked me to please not share. I said, we don't need to hear what you have to say right now. But they gave me a book, they gave me a cup of coffee, and they said, stick around and we'll talk to you after. We'll go get some food. I remember how they made me feel. When I walked in, I felt comfortable for the first time in years. I felt like I belonged. I didn't know what they were about. I didn't know that they were all sober, but I was like, okay, something about this room I enjoy. I didn't know that's what I had been looking for. And it wasn't enough to keep me there. I still went back out and drank again. I showed up to a few more meetings drunk, and it was the same thing every time. They would be like, hey, we're glad you're back. Keep showing up. Like, just listen. They said, listen for the similarities and not the differences, and maybe something will stick. And I had to go back out and got desperate again. Showed up at another meeting hall drunk. And I figured if I'm going to get people off my back and really sell this sobriety thing, I need to get a sponsor. Because apparently that's just what everybody does. I didn't know any better. So I asked the first dude I saw. He was taking a birthday chip. I did not know that fool was serious about his program. So obviously that didn't work. Like, he saw immediately through all my lies, through all my bullshit. And I forgot to ask, are we allowed to cuss?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
Saw through everything. And I found out later that apparently I would black out and call him while I'm slurring my words and like 3 o'clock in the morning telling him I'm sober. So it didn't last. I took a dirty 30-day chip at one of the meetings, and then after that I went back out, thinking I can still figure this out, thinking I'm going to be the one to solve this for myself. Maybe if I can just figure it out, one day it'll be fine. Like, that whole mindset of as long as I can get here, everything will be better. Never happened. Started having more hospital visits, and I eventually decided to go to detox again and rehab. I went to a 90-day treatment program. In there, one of the counselors asked me if I thought that I had a drinking problem. And I said, I don't know. Maybe. I'm still not ready to be honest with anybody. And he said, okay, if that's the case, then please leave. He said, you're wasting space. You're taking the opportunity from somebody else who gives a fuck about their life. So please leave if you're not sure. And that's when the fear set in for me. That was the moment when I was honest with myself, because I knew in my heart that I would drink again if I left. I didn't want to go back to where I had been, and I didn't know how to move forward, so I just stayed. And I stayed, like, in the rooms they talk about being dry. I'm not working any program, not doing anything, I'm just not drinking. And I couldn't figure out why my life still sucked. Because everyone had said I have a drinking problem, the problem's gone. And I hit the point where I was like, if this is all sobriety is, I don't want it. But I remembered being in the rooms. And so I stayed dry for almost a year. And what I would do is lurk on Zoom meetings. I would just tune in, not have my mic on, not have my camera on, but I would listen. And I would think, okay, if I can do the bare minimum, this will get me through. And it was cool. I heard a lot of great things, but it wasn't enough. I know now it's because I didn't replace it with anything. Alcohol had been my solution for so long. With that gone, I was just stuck in the water. And I had that, like they talk about, that God-sized hole in my heart that I was trying to fill with everything else. On paper, my life looked great. Got my license back, job, going to school, relationship, all of these things. And I'm miserable the entire time. So I knew if I didn't do something, I was going to drink again. And I figured, what do I have to lose? I knew in my heart that I had never given AA an honest shot. And that was the only thing that I hadn't tried. I'd tried like just prayer only, tried exercise, tried outthinking it, tried CBT, like all of the different therapies. So I said, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it all the way. And I called up the guy who's my sponsor now and just word vomited everything to him for like 2 hours. And he had known me from beforehand, and he listened, and he said, this is the first time you've been honest, isn't it? And I said, yes. I don't know what I'm doing. I want what you have, and I have no clue how to get it. All I know is I don't want to go back to where I was. And he said, okay. He said, if that's the case, then I can help you with that, but you will work. And I just said, okay. I figured if I could just blurt out okay before I could talk myself out of it, it's fine. But I didn't want to do what he suggested. I didn't want to read a book. I didn't want to go to meetings. I didn't even want to look people in the eye. But I just said okay, because anything was better than where I was. And so we started reading. I came to learn gradually that doing the 12 steps and getting that spiritual awakening, that spiritual connection with the power, a higher power of your own understanding is what keeps you sober. I had gone into it with the mindset like, oh, the meetings will keep me sober. A sponsor will keep me sober. My family will help keep me sober. And the way it was broken down is, it says it right there in the book. If you put your dependence on other people, you're not going to stop drinking. And that's how it was for me. I had played the victim for so long. If I went back out, I blamed it on someone else. I said, oh, they did this, so now I have to drink because of it. And my sponsor, he would cuss me out, and he'd be like, so who held a gun to your head and told you to drink? I'd be like, well, nobody. And he's like, so no one really forced you to do anything, did they? He's like, you're giving that power away. He's like, you're already powerless to alcohol, and you're just looking for justifications to go back to drinking, which is killing you. And it made me feel about that big, but he was right. I was like, okay. I was like, you're an asshole, but okay. All right, I'll do it another day. And it's just the repetition. That's what it was for me. I don't do well with huge changes overnight, but I can do a lot of small ones. Mm-hmm. My sponsor said, don't think about for the rest of your life. He said, just focus on today, because it is very much just one day at a time. All we get is 24 hours. He said, you get to start each day with a choice and a chance, and that's up to you. What are you going to do with it? He said, if you want to go back out there and try and be in control, play God, run the show again, he said, let me know how that works out for you. He's like, but if you really do, like you said, want what we have, then stick with us. He said, it's not enough to just surround yourself with the winners. You have to do what they do. He said, you can't just look good by comparison. It's like, if you want a spot in there, prove it. And he would cut me off because I would start to answer, and he'd be like, nothing you have to say matters. Because I had already spit all the best game. Everybody manipulates out there. Like, we know how to sound good. He's like, your word is, it means shit right now. He said, let your actions speak louder than anything you have to say. And I was like, okay. Which was hard for me, because when I first showed up, I had an opinion about everything. I had thoughts about everything, like, oh, we could do this better, we could do that better. And he would just put up his hand and be like, nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say. He would tell me that I have to keep my 2 cents to myself, because that's a currency nobody wants. I was like, well, all right. Again, you're an asshole, but yeah. I'll do it. Excuse me. And I didn't notice the changes before the people around me did. Bit by bit, I started to actually genuinely want to know how other people were doing. It was explained to me when I got here that it's no longer about me. He said, you've been selfish and self-centered this entire time, and that if you want to change that, then you have to do things different. He said, the same man will drink again. And I said, okay, I can start small. And then it was the connection with a higher power. I had grown up, like I said, in a very religious household. And I thought, okay, I grew up in that. Like, I know this. And he's like, that's not the same thing, which was good for me, because I didn't want what I had been raised in. Yeah. You know, as I'm not knocking it for anybody else. I'm just saying for myself, I wanted something different. And he said that the two things are, one, it says that you came to believe in a power, not that you showed up believing, that you came to believe. He said just being willing is enough. If you're willing to say, maybe there's something out there that has kept you here for this long and has a purpose for you, that's good. He said start there, and then just take it one day at a time. The other thing is, he said they're very different. He said the problems that I had was with the human side of religion. He said, spiritual is personal. It's just you and the higher power. It's going to be unique. He said, my higher power is different from yours. My understanding of it is different, and that's okay. Because that's the beauty about this program, is it's open to anybody. It doesn't exclude. And he said, on top of all of that, you don't have to go through it alone. He said, if you're struggling, you have the fellowship to fall back on. You have the prayer to fall back on. Meditation, like all of these things were new to me. I had prayed a lot, but I had never really acted on it. And like it says also in the book and in the Bible, like faith without works is dead. So all of these little pieces finally started to click together. And I think the biggest one was how they say in the rooms, like, we don't get better to help people, we get better by helping people. And it's proved itself true to me time and time again. The more that I'm focused on you, the less I'm running around in circles in my own head, blowing things out of proportion, having conversations that never happened, getting mad at the person for that conversation, like just dumb shit. But it all falls away if I can just help somebody. It doesn't matter what it is, moving, laundry, dishes, whatever the case may be, reading through the big book. Just get out of yourself. He said, I'm not as important as I think I am. He told me that the difference between me and God is that God doesn't walk around all day thinking he's me. And I was like, okay. And it says, for a lot of days in the beginning, it was a whole process in the morning. I had to sit down and convince myself, or not convince myself, but just remind myself where I was before and that it's better now. Because a lot of the thoughts early on for me was, this didn't really work out too well today. I can go out and have a drink, and it's been a month now. Maybe I can have at least one. Like that stinking thinking they talk about. And once I could remember how bad it was, that's when it started to look okay for today. I started to be all right in my own skin. And it's been beautiful since then. I mean, like, you hear people talk about you got a life beyond your wildest imagination, and then other people are like, I don't know, I have a pretty wild imagination. It's not like that. But for me, if it had been the life that I had imagined, I would be dead now. As simple as that. I wouldn't have made it so far. And I hear other people say, like, if life was fair, a lot of us would be dead now for the shit that we've done.
Yeah.
But I'm here for something. And I was very curious to find out why. I know now, like how it talks about in the book, it says our primary purpose is to stay sober and to help another alcoholic achieve sobriety. And that's it, however that looks, whether it's through sponsorship, whether it's through coming to a meeting, like just showing up and doing the next indicated step. Some days it does, sometimes the day does go how I think it will, but a lot of the times it doesn't. Like, perfect example today. Like, we thought we were going to be here on time, but it didn't work out that way, and that's okay. I don't have to drink over it. I don't have to lose my temper over it. I don't have to blame other people for it. I just accept it and move on. I get there when I need to get there, and that's enough to help keep me sober.
Yeah.
As long as I am able to accept life on life's terms, it makes everything a lot easier because I know I'm not in charge. And there's a page in the book where almost the whole page is just about acceptance. As long as I accept that I am not the one in control of you, of her, of anybody else, and just focus on what I'm doing, then it's going to be okay. And the fact of the matter is, the life that I get to have today is really awesome. Like, when I had my 2-year chip, I was able to go give that to my mom and dad, and they said that they were proud of me for the first time in years. And that's not something that I could have done on my own. That's why my higher power gets the credit for my sobriety date. Because left to my own devices, we still wouldn't even be speaking. But I'm allowed back into the house today. For Thanksgiving, I got invited to one of my sisters to be around her little kids again. They're able to see the change. They've seen me at my worst, and they get to see it now. They don't fully understand what AA is. All they know is that it's doing something good. So I'm blessed that they're extremely supportive. To the point where one of my sisters, I'll be teasing her about something, and her comeback will be like, "Don't you have a meeting to be at right now?" But that's what I get to do today. Yeah. I get to be a brother, a son, a boyfriend, a sponsor, a sponsee, a participating or contributing member of society today. Like I had an old timer ask me, what's the biggest difference between when I started and where I'm at today? And the first thing that came to mind is that there's good reasons to wake up in the morning. It's not just coming to going, fuck this again. Like, no, I get to show up, do the next indicated step, and just see where it takes me. I owe everything that I have to the 12 steps and to my higher power. And like I said, we do get to start each day with a choice and a chance. This is available to anybody who wants it. But it says in the book, there's no monopoly on recovery. If something else has worked for you, all the more power to you. I'm just saying this is what's worked for me. And I'm extremely grateful for that. And since gratitude is an action word, I will continue to show up. And if I keep doing that, I'll have a good chance of finishing out the day sober. But I think that was the beat. So I think that's all I got. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Dude, you literally dropped some knowledge right there. I really enjoyed you talking. 1 second, I just gotta get rid of the live. That was really good, dude.
Hey.
Really good. I can't wait to hear what people have to say because like if you don't know that right there is AA knowledge. That is what Alcoholics Anonymous gives to people. And you're a living testament, man, that the program works. And I thoroughly enjoyed listening to you. Just, it made me feel good. I hope that it looks like I always crack up because I see this guy Joel right here. He's the one with the hat on and the glasses, and he looks like he's smiling. Yeah, right there where the. But I always think he's live and looking and having a good time. But dude, unbelievable. I'm looking forward to see what everybody else has to say because that was incredible.
Thank you.
All right, let's open it up to everybody out there. We got Matt.
Hey guys. Hey everybody again. Matt, grateful recovering addict. And definitely relate to a whole bunch that you said, man. Great share. Appreciate it, man. And glad to see you doing well. Congratulations on your sobriety, man. And it's true, man. If we don't put in the work, if we don't listen to people who have succeeded in this, it's chances are it's not going to work for us. I mean, you don't go into an electrical engineer job or an accounting job or whatever it is without gaining knowledge from people that came before you. You don't get good at what you're doing by learning from other people who are teaching you what they've learned over the years. And it's just real simple, man. You gotta be quiet. You've got to listen. You've got to take direction. And there's a reason why this program works. There's a reason why the program works. And it's proven to work. The 12 steps are proven to work. They've kept countless and countless people sober. And it's possible for everybody. It doesn't just work for just some people. I mean, other people have other ways of recovery, and that's fine too. I'm supportive of all ways of recovery. But regardless of whatever path you're taking, learning from people that came before you is essential and key. That's a big fact. There's no way I'd be, close to, just a couple of weeks short of 1,000 days. There's no way I'd be that far if I just thought I could do this on my own. 28 years of active addiction proves I couldn't do it on my own. So definitely, everybody, man, keep pushing, man. Keep listening to people that came before you. Keep listening to people that are being successful in this, and you can be successful too, man. And never ever give up on you. I just want everybody to know, man, this world is a better place with you in it. And that's all I got, man.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you. Galaxy S10 is up.
Who is? Is that me?
Yep, it's you.
Oh, well, is that what I'm called? Oh, S10. I got you. Old phone. Kathy, alcoholic. Thank you,
Kathy.
Raul. That was awesome. It really got me thinking. I don't remember some of the things my sponsors used to tell me. I mean, that would stick, but that was just so on point. Very briefly, what happened, what you did about it and what it's like now, but a lot of program in there, very solid. It just really makes me feel like I need to be more active, especially with having double digits. This program is life or death to me for sure. Especially every day. I do still feel like I only 1 day away from a drink if I'm not working a program. And Hopeaholics is really helping me because I always talk myself out of going to the local meeting, but if somebody asks me to help and participate for a potluck or clean up or I always say yes. I don't say no. However, my volunteering days are kind of a little too far in the rear. So I'm just going to keep handling it 1 day at a time and following Hopeaholics. I really do like doing the Zoom meeting in the comfort of my own home. I feel like that's new for me, and it is winter and it's very cold. You guys are down in SoCal. I'm up here in Northern California, and I'm just so grateful that I got hooked up with you guys. I don't even remember how I came across your stream, but I'm just doing my best to spread the word for to let people know it's available. I let my local community where I go to get my checkups know about it. When I think I may have already shared this with you guys, but when I saw the tests for I'm drawing a blank, but the whole reason you created this.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I'm doing my best not to cry. That's how much Raul touched me. I mean, I know it's because of what's going on in my life, but I'm at a place where I'm ready to be touched. When I saw the fentanyl test there, I just was like, whoa. I mean, yes, yay, it's there because it is doing exactly what your goal is to do, is to take the shame away from it so that families are aware and people who are just all of us. And I told them about Hopeaholics, and they were like, oh, that's great. And we'll let so-and-so know. Anyway, Merry Christmas to everybody. Get better fast. And thanks for showing up, even though you're not feeling so good. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. Man, I appreciate that too. Spreading the word on the Hopeaholics, man. We're just we're out here just trying to make a difference, man. Just trying to show people that you can get sober and stay sober, and truly live a life beyond your wildest imagination. And I used to have a wild imagination too. But man, I didn't know that I would feel this good inside and be this okay, because that's all I ever truly searched for, was to feel okay. And I had found it twice. Once when I did the first line of meth, I found it, and it lied to me and said this was and it worked for a while. My solution, right? I found my solution. The next time was when I stuck a needle in my arm, and I had found my solution. And the third time, sorry, there was 3 times. The third time was when I found recovery. When I actually walked through the steps and got to the other side. And that's what I liked about listening to you today, because you can tell when somebody's really worked the steps and they have that inner peace, because that's what we're all really truly looking for. And I love the fact that you're a real alcoholic, man. The alcoholic of the blackout kind. The guy, you're the guy they talk about in the big book. You are that stage 4 alcoholic.
Yeah.
All right, who's next? I know we got other alcoholics in the house. We got Damon. Damon? There he comes, I think. Gotta unmute it. You gotta hit that little mute button right there. We do
Hello.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm Damon, alcoholic.
Hey,
I'm
Damon.
addict. Thank you for your lead. Thank you, Chad, for being part of my life, my recovery, man. Every time I watch any like the YouTube videos of the people that are on there, Chad, it just those little short clips, it just hit home. You know what I mean? And like the gentleman shared earlier, was like having that, like coming to believe, and the miracles that were happening in my life, and then going through the first 3 steps over and over again, like through the insanity to now understanding, that my higher power has been in my life, since the start, and so those 3 steps are very, very crucial for me. But coming to believe and walking in that prayer and that trust it could be difficult, but once I'm able to talk to my sponsor and hear those magical words like, hey man, he already has it taken care of, and then once the situation's done with, I'm like, I kind of laugh at myself like, yep, he was right, but it's an ongoing process to keep that trust and faith going. The miracles that I'm blessed with today through the fellowship, it's never ending, man. And Saturday, man, my son, he just turned 1, and we had a gender reveal, and now I'm finally getting something that I feel like now my circle of like life is completed, because now I get to have that experience of having hearing a little girl's voice call me dad. You know what I mean? And so that's all due to like surrendering to the program, and I heard what you were saying about your sponsor, and when I go to meetings, I hear that from a lot of the old timers. Like they would say, sit down, shut the F up, you have nothing to say. And I probably would have freaked out if my sponsor would have told me that, but my sponsor, man, I remember sitting in an H&I panel with him like four years back, and we're at a rehab, and I got done, sharing, and I had my head down, and he was sharing, and he had said to all the patients in there, the newcomers, he had said, he goes, NA and AA will not keep you clean. And when he said that, I looked up like why the hell would you even say that to people? But he had said, he goes, it won't keep you clean, but what it did was it introduced him to something that will keep him clean, and that's a power greater than ourselves. And I will never forget that. You know, so I thank you for your share. Thank you for having us, Shane. Hope to see you guys soon. Later.
Thank you. We got another guy about to come up that's going to drop some AA knowledge. Mr. Chuck Zamzow.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Chuck. I'm an alcoholic. Grateful I woke up today instead of coming to. You know, I came to in a lot of places that I heard in this share today that I can relate a lot of what was said today. The dry drunk, the sponsor telling me to take the cotton out of my ears and stick it in my mouth, let me know that I didn't know anything. All I knew was that I got in a predicament that landed me up in the rooms not once but twice. And, you know, I became a retread, and the retread finally stuck on that one tire, and I've been stuck around ever since. It's a solid share, my friend. Solid share. Solid program. I love that. I heard a lot of things today, especially acceptance. Acceptance is the key to all my problems today. And page 417 out of that attitude adjustment book. I've had to read that many times in the beginning, still today. You know, we're in the holiday season, and I always bring this up a lot. Me and my buddy talk about that all the time. Keep that foundation. First 3 steps, 1, 2, 3. Keep it simple, keep it easy, especially this time of the year, because one slip up, I could be on the curb saying, what the hell happened? And giving everything away instead of losing it. And I don't like to say I want to give everything away today, because I don't. I've been given a daily reprieve. Things have been going good. You know, I had that too thing where CRS, can't remember shit, especially when I was blacked out. And coming to in blackouts isn't fun. I can attest to that as well. I talk about that in a lot of my story with people. And it's a priceless reward today. You know, working with alcoholics and anybody in recovery, you know, it's given me some serenity, peace, and I'd still say it's a priceless reward. And life did take on a new meaning, and it still does. I still learn every day. I'm still teachable, and I don't put the blinders on, especially in the program. And I take this serious. This is serious business to me. And I don't let off my foot off the gas either, especially in recovery. And I still won't put my foot off the gas. I'm grateful for all the people I met. We obviously all met here for a reason. You know, God's doing for me what I couldn't do for myself. And I like that part about the program where I can find my own higher power, the entity, the universe, whatever you want to call it. It's given this guy the life of his wildest dreams, and I continually want more. If I wanted more of Old English and Mickey's back in the day that I thought was solving my problems, which didn't, that's why I'm in the rooms, early directions has been giving me what the false promises of what they've been doing. So that's all I got today, guys.
Thanks, Chuck. Michael, you're up. What's going on, my friend?
What's up, brother? Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
All right. Michael, alcoholic. Raul, thank you so much for your share, man. You articulated the AA 12 steps, I mean, perfectly. The part that really stood out to me is you mentioned, man, that the people in AA and the fellowship and the meetings and all that is not what's going to keep you sober. Like, and the way I look at it is like, you have a membership to AA, it's the same thing as having a membership to 24-hour fitness. Like, you can have a membership, but if you don't pick up a fucking dumbbell or you don't use a pulley machine or do some shit with it, then there's going to be no strength. There's going to be no growth. And that's how I look at the program. I'm like, have to continue to do these 12 steps. And I went through that same process before, going in and out of rehab, but just kind of trying to save face, not really wanting to work the program until I had that rock bottom, or at least until I stopped digging. And it took a heartbreak. It took being sick and looking at myself in the mirror and just being ready and willing. And one thing I've learned too is that even people around you being sober or people around you relapsing, like, it's still our choice whether or not we're going to work this program. And the fellowship is super important as well. Like I realized it, because if you have other people around you doing the work, you have these good examples of like people who their lives were flipped upside down and they lost people and they went through some crazy shit. And yet they're still able to stay sober and be content with life and be okay, because life's going to life. There's going to be these challenges. But once we are able to get to that point of acceptance where it's like, okay, and I like how the gentleman before me mentioned page 417. I love that fucking chapter where acceptance is the answer. It's like, I start my morning off, and this is something Chad told me too, that first hour of the day, like, sit with God, do your prayer, your meditation. For me, I add affirmations in there. I listen to like 30 minutes of affirmations. Finding the God that you could do business with. And that's another thing I heard Chad say, another episode or a reel or something. Like, find a God that you can do business with. It doesn't have to be a specific religion. It's have that connection with something that is greater than us as human beings. And that allows us to, our sponsors, at least my sponsor, he took me through these 12 steps by my hand and then put my hand into God's hand. And now I can have this direct connection with God where I'm like, okay, and I still touch in with my sponsor, but now I know I can pray, I can meditate, I can pause, people that will piss me off or I'll get upset at, my initial knee-jerk reaction would be like, fuck off, or want to get straight to the bullshit. Now I find myself praying for people to piss me off. And that's some shit that I would never have done prior to these 12 steps. But it starts to melt that ice around your heart that we become, those monsters we become in active addiction when you realize we're worth it. So love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, Michael. Joe Pip, what's going on?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
Doing great. What happened to your arm?
I got into a car accident today.
Oh,
I got rear-ended.
Oh, damn.
Sucks. Thing was coming right at me in the rear view, and I seen him, and I'm like, I hope he stops. He didn't stop. He stopped into me. But I'll get into that. Raul, that was awesome, bro. I needed to hear that. My name's Joe. I'm an alcoholic. It's funny. You mentioned being dry. I like to call it undrunk. We're still looking for a solution to our problems. I'm the problem, right? And if it's not alcohol or drugs, what's the solution? And the solution ultimately is God and working a program. But in the past couple of weeks, I noticed I've gone to God less and I've controlled my life more, and it becomes a shit show when that happens. Up here, I'll substitute the drugs and the alcohol with, food, sex, shopping. My defects come out. I'm a procrastinator. I'm lazy. I lie. I manipulate. And I do all these things to myself. I lie and manipulate myself more than anything. And I know I should be going to God, but I don't. I don't know why. When I do, the day is great. Life is great. When I don't, those moments are so difficult. And it's almost like I got to start over again. I can't do 10, 11, and 12 and skip 2 through 9. You know what I'm saying? 1 is a given. I don't ever want to pick up, but I have to implement those steps every day. I can't do it my way. And I'll go a year and a half where everything's great. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if I get complacent or comfortable, or I think, what's a day without working a program? What's 2 days without working a program? And it gets chaotic quickly. I've mentioned this to Chad. I got 48 hours before I start losing it. If I don't do, my morning routine and work my program properly. And, there have been instances in the past week where I wanted to get high just because I didn't want to go to God. I set my schedule for the day. I did none of it. And I'm just sitting around isolating, and it's like, damn, it would be nice to get high right now. And that's very, very dangerous. And I think the accident today was God slowing me down. I was all over the place. I got hit. I went to the hospital, and it would have been my right to get pain meds, right? Because I got hurt, and take as prescribed is fine, which I would never have done. And as soon as the doctor came in, God took over. And I'm like, yo, I'm in recovery. Don't give me nothing. Ibuprofen, please. Like, I was so scared. And, I heard Mike Tyson say something. He said, if you're favored by God, then you're favored by the devil. You know, and as life gets good and I continue to level up and accomplish things I never thought I would accomplish, I notice it's getting harder because I feel like my disease, I think Natalie says this all the time, is doing push-ups in the corner and it's coming to throw body shots at me. And so I have to do a better job of going to God when things are good, because if I don't, then things could get bad really quickly, you know. And, you know, I'm just grateful that I left the hospital. I went to a meeting and then I came to this meeting. And if that's what it takes, 90 and 90 or 290, whatever it is, I have to do until I'm, you know, back on track, and then not abandon that. That's important. I can't abandon what works, you know. And I'm out of time. Sorry, Chad. I do that all the time, bro. But thanks, Raul. That was awesome, bro. Thanks again, man. I needed to hear that.
Awesome. Great share, man. Appreciate you. Adam.
What's up, everybody? Adam from Chicago. Grateful for covering Alcoholic Addict. Chad and crew, love the podcast. You guys have been instrumental in my sobriety, and I really appreciate that. Raul, great lead. I haven't been to a meeting in a while. I've always wanted to hit this, and I just, always come up with excuses like the rest of us on why I can't hit a meeting. But I got 11 months tomorrow, by far the longest I've had in a while. And there's two things that I've done that are different from every time in the past. I've been in and out of recovery for about 15 years, 20 plus years of active addiction. And first, I recognize the simplicity of this. It's really a simple solution. Follow rules, these guidelines that a sponsor lays out for you, and life falls into place. I'm so used to the complexities and making life difficult, as I'm sure we all were at one point when we were out there. And it's a simple solution, and things starting to fall in place. And second, I just surrendered to a God of my understanding. I've had so many brushes with death, 2 fentanyl poisonings, crashing a stolen car, avoided 2 jail sentences, and I'm here for a reason. And I got a call today that I got a green light to donate a kidney. I mean, who would have think that after 20 years of all this shit that I'm going to be able to donate my kidney to my 15-year-old cousin's son? It's just, life's beautiful, and with sobriety, it's just you can really conquer anything. I'm 43 years old, and I really got hung up on the fact that my life's behind me, but you got your best years ahead of you. So yeah, I just appreciate everybody share in the room. Raul, thanks again. Hopeaholics, you guys are great. I'll pass. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Wow, Adam, that's incredible what you just shared right there. Incredible. All right. Shane's not here, so we usually get wild when somebody doesn't have their shirt on, but we'll just leave it at that tonight. You're up, Jesse.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Chad? Sorry, guys. There you go. You don't want to see that. Man, great share. Thanks, Raul. That was really good. And like always, I want to thank you, Chad, for starting this meeting. This has been the only meeting that I've been able to get to. I have excuses on why I'm not getting out of the house, newborn baby and shit, but this, I have no excuse. And it's really helped out a lot, man. This and your podcast. I've been just binge listening to it for a long time. But your share, man, it was really good. There was a lot that I can relate to. There's a lot that I don't relate to, but that's not what I'm here to focus on, alcohol wasn't a huge part of my story, but I still became what they call a dry drunk for a while, I stepped away from meetings and wasn't talking, didn't have a sponsor. I was just in a dark, dark place, and it was crazy because everything in my life was just perfect from the outside looking in, but everything in my head was just going crazy. And I got to a point where I got really suicidal, and it was scary. It was scary as fuck, man. I didn't want to drink or use because I realized that would just lead to death, and I realized that that's what I wanted. So I got my ass back to meetings. I attempted a 90 and 90, but I got back on track, and I just picked up 2 years. I think it was the 7th December 7th. I just picked up 2 years, and it's been amazing. And this time around, I've had some slips along the way, but this last 2 years, I dove into the steps, and I was like ready to do whatever the fuck it took. Like I was tired of half-assing it, and man, my life. It's funny because I never really lost everything, and didn't gain a whole bunch, but I kind of drifted in the middle somewhere. But this time around, I gained so much mental clarity and so much peace. I'm currently on step 9, and I've been taking it slow. 2 years, and I'm on step 9, but that's all right because I got the rest of my life to do this, you know. And there was one thing that you said that I loved, man. We don't recover to help people; we recover by helping people, and it's something that I really like because I've been thinking in my head like I need to recover, like fully recover, so that I can help everyone. Not even realizing that I can be helping people now, and that will in turn help me. So thank you for saying that, man. That was really good. And I'll end on this. Something that I heard in another group, another sober group, the Phoenix. Not going to get into it, but they're active sober group community, and I always heard it there is there's no one right way to recover. So for everyone on this meeting, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. There's not one right way to recover. And with that, I'll take another 24. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jesse. Yeah, good shit, man. Kimberly.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Kimberly, grateful alcoholic. I'm so glad I got out of my ass and turned this on today because I've been sitting in my house all day doing nothing. Thank you for your lead, Raul. It's like that constant reminder of I don't keep me sober. My higher power keeps me sober. And how do I do that? I do that through action by working with others. And that's like a huge component, that driving force that I don't even know what that force is driving me, but I feel it and I'm connected to it. And I just go with it and let it drive me on the way, even if I don't know where I'm going, because I trust and I have faith that I'm going to get where I need to be. And I know I'm not alone doing that. It's like that, like the opposite of addiction is connection. It's a huge part of having community. It's like this, me getting sober didn't mean I got strapped to a chair and 4 walls. Me getting sober, I've learned how to surf at my old ass age, which is crazy to me. It's like 50s. I started surfing last year. I haven't stood up yet, but I haven't stopped trying. I just keep doing it. And it's like the same thing within recovery. I keep doing what works. I don't do it perfectly. And yesterday's sobriety will not keep me sober today. So I have to do something new every single day. And a lot of that is those book sessions with others. I thoroughly rely on that to connect me to that power that's speaking to me through the humans that give me that insight to then speak out back into the universe. It's like that, the God speaking to me through you. And that's what I look for, that message often. And I appreciate your message today because I hear that power of the message speaking through you to me. And that makes a difference in my moments. That reminds me to tap into that connection to the higher power moments when I need it. And remind me, I am absolutely never alone unless I choose to be. So that's what I got. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Kimberly. Serenity. The real Serenity.
Hi, family. How are you?
Good.
Raul, man, thank you for bearing your soul with us today, dude. You had some amazing things to say. I am a grateful recovering addict, and today is actually my 7 months free from fentanyl use. So, I'm stoked. It was my story's a little different. I came in as a late bloomer in this, but grief and loss was my driving force. I lost both my parents. So for 37 years, I actually had no issues. And then once I lost my parents, it was just the situation, my environment, past relationship. But I went in and I didn't even know what I was doing. And let me tell you, like fentanyl, as we all know, like it's crazy. It really is like poisoning, like we like to say. So I am so glad to be 7 months free of that poisoning and to just keep it going. But acceptance is such a huge part in this. Support is such a huge part in this. And life happens no matter what, whether we're sober or not, right? So it's understanding how to deal with these things in a very positive way. I'm laughing right now because a few minutes ago, my car wouldn't start. And I think it's because I needed oil. And I was laughing at what Joe Pip, I mean, that quote from Tyson, man, like that hits hard for me because let me tell you, it's just all this stuff in life happens, right? Regardless. So I was just reminded of that. And it's funny that he said that because I'm literally sitting here, like my car's not going to start. And I have so many things that I have to do. And obviously, this Tuesday night meeting, we love so much. So thanks for joining us because we created a little family here and it's everyone from different walks of life. And, that's our movement is just love and acceptance and coming as you are, dude, regardless of where we're from. We can all resonate and like rely on each other and be here as a support. So, thanks for joining our little crew here. And like I said, sharing your wisdom with us. That's amazing. Um, Friday night was super amazing. I just got to say, because I know I don't have much time left. Chad, as always, killed it. Bam is the most hilarious person on the planet. And so that was quite the awesome experience. I always look forward to these events that we have. Amazing turnout, Chad. I'm so glad that we were able to like get the word out and spread hope and love and peace and everything that, you and the crew worked so hard to do. So I appreciate you as always. Thank you for letting me share tonight. And yeah, one day at a time. That's all we can do, right?
Yep. Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a really good event, really good turnout. I think we counted about 300 people. So it was amazing. Is it Mariella? Did I say it right? We read lips around here too. She's saying, I think that it's right. Yes. She's laughing now.
Okay, there. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I made myself raise my hand. And I really liked what he said because it kind of reassured me that what I was thinking. I've been like texting with you and talking to Chad today, trying to fight to get into a treatment. I'm 10 days sober today from alcohol. And I kept like thinking that I can do it because I'm strong enough to detox and go through all the withdrawals and it's just if I can do it and have seizures and just shake and almost feel like I'm dying, I can do it. I don't need another nothing else. Like if I'm strong enough to do that, I can do it. And I have relapsed so many times. And so as I was mentioning to you, Chad, looking for a treatment for my friend, I came to realization that, wait, every time I have done this, I've expected a new outcome. And how can I expect a new outcome when I'm not adding nothing new to my journey? So I actually added myself to this and I was like, you know what? I think I need to add something different to this journey now in recovery because if I just go in because I detoxed and because I am just staying sober, what's gonna change? Nothing. And that what Raul said kind of reassured me that we do need something else. And that's why I'm like today has been like so stressful for me, like in my mind, like trying to figure out how can I do it, how can I go about it to go into the treatment and do a program, work a program. And I don't know, like it just reassured me what he said. Like it just made me feel like more like sense of like calmness, like everything's gonna be fine. You wanna you're doing the right thing, like you wanna work an extra thing. It's not just not drinking or using, it's actually adding something and working something that's gonna help to stay sober. And so all that stress that I went through today, trying to figure out different things of how to be able to go into a treatment, a residential treatment, it kind of made me feel like it was worth it because it is something that I need to do and something that's gonna work along the way to make me stay sober, maintain myself sober, and not. I think I haven't been able to pass 45 days, and it's been 6 years already, and I think they call it the 45-day honeymoon thing because I don't recall. Maybe I don't recall last time I've been sober for more than like 2 months, and I'm talking about like a lot, like 2 bottles a day of hard liquor, and I'm killing myself, and I'm 10 days sober, and I feel like sobriety kind of sucks, but that's normal and it's okay because it's supposed to feel like that. So I'm glad that you said what you said because it makes me feel like I'm taking the right step towards my journey of recovery.
Yeah, you're definitely taking the right step, and that's good insight for you today. God is good, and it's a struggle, man. This thing's a struggle, but we're all here. That's why we have this meeting. That's why we have the Hopeaholics podcast. We have the DMs, the Instagram. Man, we just want to help you get your life back to where you deserve to be. So yeah, we'll stay in touch. We'll figure this out together. All right, guys. That was a pretty amazing meeting. Without the other two, I held it down. Again, I want to thank Chuck and Joelle for holding it down for us last week. Appreciate that a lot. Yeah, man, you guys have multiple choices of what you can do on a Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We really appreciate you choosing to come here and hang out with the Hopeaholics. I think I know why you guys come here of all the other places you can be. It's because of this very moment that we're about to do right now. If I can get everybody to turn their cameras on, because we're the only meeting that does this. Right, Julian? Do anybody else know any other meetings that do this? Everybody got their cameras on? I still see a few people with their cameras off, but all right, if you don't want to participate in this good time that we're all about to have, everybody that has their camera on, put your hands up in the air just like this, and here we go. Ready? Yep, we are the only meeting that dances out. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. See you guys all next week, same time, same channel.